the position of SRC Treasurer. Professor Samuel Isian Bedu is ready with his team, that is the vetting committee. So right away, I am going to give the microphone to him. You're welcome to our channel. This is TV UCC. My name is Louise Bekwede. You can call me the PDF. It is that time of the season again, and we are back on your screen with another edition of Ucc Src Look on this vetting. This morning, we'll see students who pick nominations to contest for the position of SRC General Secretary being vetted here. And I must inform you that we are currently at the Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman Auditorium at the Mr. Arthur Langwe Center of University of Cape Coast. And so if you are around the environment or the compound or the campus of University of Cape Coast, then you can join us. Feel free to join us here at the auditorium. But if because of one or two reasons you cannot join us, then do stick to your screen because we have a lot for you this morning. But remember to subscribe to our channel, hit on the notification icon, and share this content. I know someone who is interested in this. Share for the world to get to know what we are doing here. Professor Samuel Isian Bedu, together with his team, ready to start the vetting this morning. And so right away, I am going to hand the microphone over to him. But just before I do that, remember that we can make this interactive. Intermittently, I would be reading your messages. So leave your message, send your comment to us, anything at all that you want to write to us. So far as this exercise is concerned, leave it at the comment section below, and intermittently, I would be reading that. You know, that would prompt us that you're part of us. So right away, I'm giving the microphone to the chairman of today's exercise. Do stay with us and enjoy.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again to you all. It's been a pleasant morning. And I want to use the opportunity to welcome all of you to the Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman Auditorium, where we are live on TV UCC. And today marks the beginning of the 2023 SRC local Nugs vetting of persons who have picked nomination forms to contest for various positions. We want to use this opportunity to congratulate all those who have picked up nomination forms to contest for this position. As I always say, this is a very friendly encounter. We expect you to come support your candidate. We expect you to follow us live on TV, UCC, leave your comments. Let's read them, let's share knowledge together whilst we engage in this process. Again, we want to encourage as many people as can join us in the auditorium to join us whilst we go through this process. As many as can also watch us live on TV, UCC, we want to encourage you to do so. It will be a very good opportunity for you to listen to your candidates, your aspirants, so you know the vision they have for the University of Cape Coast SRC local Nugs. Let me quickly introduce the panel today. The panel is drawn from all the halls of residence, and we have 12 panel members that are going to be doing the engagement, or that are going to have the engagement done today. On my immediate right is Miss Olivia Kwatima, then followed by Miss Jemfua Apiakubi. Then we have Mr. Enoch Ansayabwa. And then we also have Mr. Francis Kweku Opoku. And then we have Miss Emanuela Owusu. And then Mr. Matthew Gorib. Then on my immediate left, who also doubles as the vice chair of the vetting committee, is Professor Mrs. Rebecca Day-Mensah. Then right after her is Abigail Riedu. And then we also have Isaac Apiawin. And then we have Selom Omega, and then Rich Love Ampofo. We're also privileged to have our secretary being Mrs. Ifia Enima Into, the Senior Assistant Registrar at the Office of the Dean of Students. These are the people who are going to be taking part in this exercise. As was rightly said this morning, we're going to vet nominees for the position of SRC Secretary, and then we'll take a break in the afternoon, and then we would reconvene and then vet nominees for SRC Treasurer. We want to make this as exciting as possible. We want to make this very interactive, very educative. And so please follow us live on TV UCC whilst we enjoy ourselves, learn together, share ideas together so that we can have the best for the University of Competitive Choice. Thank you. All right, so once again, we are live inside the Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman Auditorium, and we want to start with our very first candidate in the person of Eronia Joanna Sam. If the candidate is ready, we can bring her in for the position of SRC Secretary. Don't forget to like, share TV UCC. Don't also forget to leave your comments so we read them. We're live inside the Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman Auditorium. This is the vetting of nominees for the 2023-2024 SRC local Nugs elections. And my name is Professor Samuel Bedu. I'm going to be your chair, and I'll try and also double as TV UCC host on their allowance. Is the candidate ready? So let's have some musical interlude whilst we wait for the candidate to join us.
So, yes, we currently waiting for the candidate, the first nominee to join us here. But before the president joins us here, I want to take the opportunity to interact with one or two people who are here in the auditorium. Exactly, we'll put them on the spot to see how prepared they are. My friend, look at me. Stand up. Right. Oh, he is prompting me that the nominee is here, but they are not ready. So let me ask you this question. You ready? What is the name of the Vice Chancellor of University of Cape Coast? Huh. Yes? Professor Johnson Jacob 1 point. You don't know him. Next, you know who will be the Vice Chancellor. Yes? Who? Okay. The chairman is ready, so right away we continue with the exercise. Keep your comments coming.
Thank you very much, PDF. We're still live on TV UCC. Eronia Joanna Sam, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, please be comfortable, relax. Okay. Oh, you keep the mic, keep the microphone. Yes, I like the smile.
Thank you.
Good. Good. Just relax. At any point in time, if you're uncomfortable, you let us know. And then if you need some time off also, you let us know.
Yes,
right.
Please.
So we received your application to be vetted as SRC Secretary. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Please tell us about yourself.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. My name is Eronia Joanna Sam. I am a very competent and a responsible young lady who has taken up secretarial positions in the previous years. And these positions has helped me gather skills and ability that is giving me the passion and the drive to aspire for more secretarial positions, making me aspire for SRC General Secretary. And I am here to be vetted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eronia. So you've had the opportunity to serve as secretary and you want more secretarial jobs.
Yes, please.
So apart from the SRC, which other secretarial job are you looking forward to?
Please pardon me.
You said you want more secretarial jobs.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm asking apart from the SRC, which other secretarial jobs are you looking forward to?
Please, any opportunity that will present itself, I'll be glad to take it up and serve.
Any opportunity that presents itself. That's
Yes.
good to hear. Right, so I'll hand you over quickly to my vice chair. She would interact with you briefly, and then we'll make progress.
Yes.
Hello, Joanna.
Hello, Mom.
How are you doing?
Please, I'm doing well.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Okay. I just chanced on something here. You are an optimistic, or better still, you have an optimistic vision to become a secretary.
Yes, please.
And what program are you reading now?
Please, I'm reading Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood.
And at the end of that program, you intend to become a secretary?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. I believe that secretarial work is about administrative work, and being in early childhood will also give me an opportunity to exhibit those skills that I've gathered over the years. So I will still have a secretarial role to play in the years to come. Thank you.
Your personal data is pretty clean. I really like it.
Thank you, Ma'am.
When we say you should justify margins, do you know what that means?
Yes, please.
What does it mean?
Thank you, Chef, for the question. So justifying margins basically mean making the work have a kind of alignment.
Exactly. But your work is not aligned.
Yes, please. I'll correct that next time.
And then you wrote that some of the things you did or do includes maintaining true and accurate records of all proceedings.
Yes, please.
In one word, what is that?
Thank you, Mom, for the
If
question.
you maintain true and accurate records of proceedings in one word, what does that mean?
Eminent.
Okay. That's good. Spell competences. Spell competences.
Thank you, Chair, for the question. Competence is spelled competence is spelled COMPETENCIES.
Okay. But you spelled it wrongly here.
Oh,
So that's why I asked you to spell it.
yes.
And then as part of your competences, you said you are very, okay, just stated flexibility. What do you mean by that?
Mr. Chair, when I say flexibility, I mean that I am able to adjust to different situations because I have the willingness to learn. If there are any changes in situation, I have the willingness to learn and to adjust to it. That's what I mean.
Do you remember another competence you wrote? You remember, did you do this CV yourself?
Yes, please.
Do you remember any other competence you wrote? Attention to details?
Yes, please.
But that is not showing here. Joanna. Okay. What is Children's Station Child Development Center?
Mr. Chair, Children's Station Child Development Center is a Montessori school.
Oh, okay. So you were teaching there.
Yes, please.
All right. And then when you come to your educational background, the first one, University of Cape Coast, 2021 to date. The remaining, you used dashes. So you lacked consistency. So in future, you have to look at that. Tell me about Girl Power Program. Girl Power Program.
Mr. Chair, Girl Power Program was a program organized by the local Nugs, of which I'm a member of the committee, Students Academic Affairs. The program was organized to empower women to be able to come up and take up some leadership roles and to come out of their shells, basically.
Oh, so it was a one-off program?
Yes, please. It was a one-day program.
No. So which group is known as Girl Power? Do you have any group like that? Because Girl Power runs through a bit. Is there something like that? Do you have a group known as Girl Power? Or the program was dubbed Girl
Please.
Power?
That was the title.
Right. Okay. You are a prayer secretary or deputy prayer secretary.
Yes, I was.
So you prayed this morning
Yes, please.
that the questions will be very easy for you.
Yes, please.
Leadership skills. You wrote attention to details, flexibility. What do you mean by that?
Please.
In one word, attention to detail, flexibility.
Mr. Chair, please, it's a mistake. Sorry.
Communication, problem solver. What is that?
This is a mistake. It's supposed to be on the next line.
No, but I thought you said you pay attention to details.
Yes, please, sir.
Because in your, I think page 2, job competencies, you have flexibility, you have attention to details. And then under leadership skills too, you repeated the same thing. So I was going to ask, what's the difference between leadership skills and then job competencies?
Thank you, Chair, for the question.
You said you prepared the CV yourself.
Yes, please.
So you have job competencies and then you have leadership skills. And you have virtually repeated the competencies under leadership skills. So what's the difference between the two? Are they the same?
No, not really, please. So when we talk about, under the job competencies, it's talking about, please, it's talking about the roles that you play in the administrative work. Leadership skills can be more of a personal skills that a person has.
You organized CV writing for some people on the 23rd of May 2023.
Yes, please, Mom.
You organized it for them.
Yes, please. I organized it, but I wasn't the facilitator. I wasn't the facilitator for it.
Oh, okay. So which group of people did you organize this CV writing for?
Mom, please, it was an open program where everybody can join. Every student of the University of Cape Coast can join.
Oh, so if it was for UCC students?
Yes, please, but other people join.
Oh, okay. I can see that you've done a lot of presentations per the roles you play or you have played.
Yes, please.
Correct?
Yes, please.
All right. In every presentation, 3 things are very important. Can you tell me what they are? Whenever you have to do a presentation, 3 things are very important. What do you think they are?
Mom, please. Mr. Chair, I believe that the 3 things that should be in every presentation is the title, the date, and you give an overview of everything. Yes.
The title, the what?
The date and an overview of the whole thing.
Okay, so let me put it differently. Usually you would say, tell them what you want to say it, and tell them what you have said. What can you make out of that? Tell them what you want to say, say it, tell them what you have said. So I want you to tell them what you want to say. What do you think that is? say it, what do you think that is? And the final one, tell them what you have said. You get it?
Not really, please.
Whenever you want to do a presentation, the first thing is to tell them what you want to say. So what do you think that is? When you tell people what you want to say to them, what is that? In one word.
I believe it to be the objective.
Okay. So what I was looking for is your introduction. And then
Yes, please.
the whole presentation. That's where you say it. And then when you finish, you conclude. So
Yes,
those are the
please.
3 things I was looking out for.
Okay, yes.
Now to your referees quickly. One Pastor Peter Ening, Kofi Nyameche, right?
Yes,
Is
please.
he a student?
No, please. He was, but he has completed.
But his email address is stuucc.edu.gh. So you want to look for his real address, email address, because this presupposes that he's still a student, but he's not. My final question to you, my dear. You have taken up a lot of positions. Do you think you are a leader?
Please pardon me.
You have taken up a lot of positions. Do you think you are a leader?
Okay. Thank you, Chair, for the question. I believe I am a leader not only because of the positions that I've taken, but I believe that my skills and ability and the experiences I gathered is what can make me a leader. Thank you.
So, are you a leader?
Yes, please, I am.
Who is a leader?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. Mr. Chair, a leader is a person. Please, a minute. Mr. Chair, I believe that a leader is a person who can make impact in the lives of people, who is ready to serve and ready to bring a positive change in a situation or in an organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I may come back to you.
Please,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, Miss Sam. How are you doing?
Please, I'm doing well.
Did you have breakfast today?
No, please.
Okay, so my question is, if a student or a candidate wishes to withdraw from an election, okay, there are some prerequisite procedures that he or she must take before the withdrawal. Can you take us through that process?
Mr. Chair, I believe that the procedures that one has to go through to be able to withdraw from an election is one. The person has to write a letter to the Office of the Dean of Students, which will be forwarded to the EC chair with your stated reasons so that they will look at it and then get back to you on that. That's what I know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay, so that's correct. The
Thank-
person must do so by formal writing to the Dean of Students at most 72 hours before the elections. So you did well.
Thank you.
Right, so we're still live inside the Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium. We've been joined by Professor Eugene Kufuor Mafudate, the Dean of Students of the University of Cape Coast. He's making an appearance in the auditorium. As I mentioned earlier on, we're still live on TV UCC. Keep your comments coming. Leave your comments in the chat box. We'll read them. As many as can join us in the auditorium, please feel free to do so so we can interact with our candidates. Thank you.
Okay. How are you doing?
Please, I'm doing well.
So, as the secretary, how will you ensure effective communication within the SRC and the student body at large?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. For me to ensure effective communication in the SRC, one, I believe that communication goes through some processes where there must be a sender and there must be a medium and there must be the receiver. And after the person have received the information, the person has to give a feedback. So for me to ensure a good communication, I'll make sure I use the right medium to communicate. And also another way to ensure a good communication is to encourage the team members to talk to each other and then for them to know themselves better so that communication can be good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's correct.
Thank you.
Miss Eronia,
Yes, please.
how do you do?
Please, how do you do too?
I like your name.
Thank you.
Okay, so looking at your CV, you said you assisted with writing and then distributing invitation letters. So to vice presidents. So with this, did you write some of the letters?
Yes, please, sometimes.
Sometimes you write the letters.
Yes, please.
So as the SRC General Secretary, in case you have poor skills in writing letters, and then anytime you write a letter, your SRC president and then the other executives have problem with how you write your letters, and then your letters are full of grammatical errors, and then the structure you use in writing the letter is inaccurate. And then the SRC president decides to appoint someone else to write the letter on your behalf so that you will sign the letter. What would you do?
Mr. Chair, if somebody is to write a letter in my state, it's a good thing. But I should be involved in the writing of the letter. As I said earlier, I am someone who is ready to learn and adjust to different situations.
So, like, you are already writing it, but your mode of writing the letter is inaccurate, and then it's full of mistakes. What would you do?
So I will talk to the president not to take the tax for me because I believe it's my responsibility to do it. It can be reviewed and corrected afterwards. So that's what I would do. Thank you.
The president is trying to help you. So, hello? Hello? The president is trying to help you by making sure that the communication that goes out is without blemish. So he's asked someone to help you. And you're saying that you wouldn't want that?
Mr. Chair, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
I mean that the person can help me. From what he said, it's like the person would take the whole task from the hands of the secretary. So I was trying to communicate that the person can help without taking the whole responsibility from the secretary.
Yeah, what would you do?
So, Mr. Chair, just as I was saying, I will speak to the president so that after writing, it can be reviewed by another person.
Okay. Don't you think you should build upon writing better letters? And also, have you heard of ChatGPT?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think that one can also help you yourself, because as the secretary, it is your duty to do that. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Miss Aronia,
Hello.
as an SRC General Secretary, you receive a lot of letters, you read a lot of letters, and you write a lot of letters as well, both academic and then non-academic matters. So my question is, give the two main persons expected to be in the corporate section of all communications on non-academic matters from the university administration to the SRC.
Please, can you come again?
Okay. I said as an SRC General Secretary, you receive letters, you read letters, you write a lot of letters. So who are the two main persons, or give me the two main persons expected to be in the corporate section of all communications on non-academic matters from the university administration to the SRC?
Mr. Chair, I believe it's the registrar of the university and assistant registrar of the University of Cape Town.
Oh, it's not correct. Would you want to try again?
Please, can you educate me on that?
Okay. So if you read the section 21 of the handbook, subsection A, you're supposed to see the dean of students and then the hall master's names there. You always have to make sure they are there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. In your CV, you have that you have interest in reading.
Yes, please.
So I suppose you've read the student's handbook.
Yes, please, I have.
All right. Since you are aspiring to be the secretary, if you, pass the vetting and you are voted for, you will be the secretary. So tell us who performs secretarial duties to the secretarial services of the University Council and Academic Board as prescribed in the student's handbook. Who is in charge?
Do you mean who is in charge of the secretarial board?
Yes.
Is the SRC General Secretary.
That is wrong. Look, did you hear the question?
Please, can you come again?
Okay. So tell us who performs the secretarial services of the University Council and Academic Board. That is what I'm asking.
Mr. Chair, it's Mr. Emmanuel Edu.
What is his role in the school? Not looking for names, the role or the office.
He's the University Council Secretariat.
That is not right. So according to the Student Handbook, page 10, the registrar performs the secretarial services of the University Council and Academic Board. So that is wrong, right?
All right. Hope you are very fine.
Yes, please, I am.
All right. So, if a level 100 student approaches you, a male level 100 student, of course, who wants you to help him apply for a change of name per the university regulation, kindly educate that particular person. You get the question right. I'm asking you, if a level 100 student, male student approach you as the SRC General Secretary, that he wants his name, his share name in particular, changed per the university regulation on change of names, educate him properly.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. According to the University Handbook, it states that the name of a person can't be easily changed unless the person is married and has to change the same name. But for you to change your name, it's not really allowed.
So the question is, what advice would you give a level 100 male student who has asked you as the SRC secretary that he wants to change his name? What advice would you give?
All right, thank you. So, I would advise the person not to change his name because it can affect the previous name that he used to bring into the university, and it can bring conflict in identity.
I think your response is quite satisfactory, but not exactly. A male student, as a male student, you can't change your share name. You can't. Just like you said, for a female who is in the university, who contract marriage, you can't. That female student can apply to have the share name changed, and that must be followed by a marriage certificate or any requisite documentary evidence to facilitate the process. So that is a nice attempt. It's quite satisfactory, but not on point. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Miss Eronia, how are you doing?
Please, I'm doing well.
Okay. I believe you are well vested with the academic policies and regulations of the University of Cape Coast. So I would want to know, in case a student is rusticated from the university, under what grounds will he or she not be considered for readmission at a later date? I repeat again, in case a student is rusticated from the university, under what grounds will he or she not be reconsidered at a later date for admission?
Thank you for the question. Mr. Chair, I believe that when the person has tarnished the image of the university.
Can you please come again?
Please, when the person has done something that brings the name of the university down.
Okay, quite satisfactory, but then is when a student is dismissed on disciplinary grounds, and this can be found on page 32 of the academic policies. Thank you.
All right. You are still writing. I think it's good you listen to the next question. All right. You know, I've gone through your CV, and then we've all seen what you are doing. We've gone through your results too. We've seen that you are making quite a number of A's and B's. That's good. I mean, you are in level 300, is that not so?
Yes, please.
300. Okay. Every institution has their core courses that they do. And then in UCC, we have about 7 of these courses that compulsorily, before you finish the school, one way or the other, you have to undertake some of these courses. I just want you to mention just 3 of these courses that you think that is compulsory for the university, and as a student, you should need to pass through it. Are you clear with the question?
Yes, please.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I believe some of these courses are 1, communications studies. So, communication skills, 2, critical thinking and African studies.
Okay, all right. So I think I will consider that to be correct. All right.
Thank you.
Joanne.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How do you pronounce your first name?
Eronia. Eronia.
What's the meaning?
Please, it means light.
Light.
Yes.
Okay. So I've seen that last semester you did statistics and probability.
Yes, please.
Can you mention 2 topics you treated?
Okay, so thank you for the question. Please, we did probability. Yes, the name, that's a topic with the probability and statistics.
Okay, so I'm guessing if not for anything, you did something under risk and returns.
Please
Risk.
come again.
Did you do anything under risk?
No, please.
You did not.
No, please.
So how are you
It's
going
the
to answer my question?
It was a fundamental.
Fundamental.
Yeah.
But when I say risk, you understand what it is?
No, really.
Because my question is going to be, what is the difference between risks and returns? If I'm to ask you as a level 100 student.
Mr. Chair, I believe risk means loss and returns means profit.
Okay, I'll take your answer for that, given your background. Yes, but basically, risk refers to the probability of loss, given the available opportunity, and returns refers to the benefit you gain from taking risk, given the available opportunity.
Thank you.
Aronia, welcome again.
Thank you.
Okay. So let me take you outside UCC and outside Ghana. Yes. Can you tell us about what is currently happening in Sierra Leone? Like there's, okay. In Sierra Leone, yes. There's a huge event going on there.
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you watch the news yesterday? Have you been following the news?
Yes, please. But
and you didn't hear anything about Sierra Leone?
Not
okay.
yet.
Okay. So they are still in the process of voting for a new president. Yeah, the voting was on the 24th. And they are still even doing counting. They are still counting. So I thought you could educate us and the audience on what was happening. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Joanna.
Yes, please.
I would ask you a very simple question. I can see you like simple questions. So, is it important that this question is on leadership? Okay. It's important that leaders delegate some of their responsibilities from time to time. And if so, why?
Mr. Chair, thank you for the question. I believe it is important for leaders to sometimes delegate their responsibilities to other people because if you want to meet a deadline and the things are many on you, you have to delegate some to people so that you could be able to meet the deadline. And also because of multitasking.
So if you can meet the deadline, then it means you don't have to delegate. Is that what you are telling us? Is delegation part of leadership at all? Should it be part of what leaders do?
I don't think it should be something that should be frequently done, but in cases where situations can overburden you, you can delegate some responsibilities to some people if they are not very sensitive.
You know, there are various types of leaders. Give me one of them.
Autocratic leader.
And who are they? What do they do? What do they do?
So please, these are the type of leaders who do not take the concerns of their people and act on what they think on with all the power that they have.
Are you one of them?
No, please, ma.
All right, thank you. That's good. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Eronia. Do you have any question for us?
No, please. Sir.
Okay, so that'll be all with you. Thank you very much for coming. You hear from the panel.
Okay,
so right, we're still live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. This is the vetting of nominees for the 2023-2024 SRC local Nugs election. This is day one. This is the morning session. We just interacted with the first nominee for the position of SRC secretary. We'll continue with the SRC secretary, and then in the afternoon we'll look at nominees for the position of SRC treasurer. We're still live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. You can join us also at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajimayan Auditorium inside the Emisata Language Center. We are also live, as I said earlier on, so you can follow us on TV, UCC, leave your comments in the comment sections. We'll read them and we'll get more interactive. Thank you.
Right, so we're waiting for the next nominee to join us in the auditorium. So while we do wait for her to join us, I take the opportunity to read a couple of one or two messages that we have received here. This one said, okay, this one is from Freddie. Said, yeah, backgrounds, this is our home. Cecilia Pia says, the girl is bleeding. And Enoch Inkum comes in to say, Ajeta. Winfred Otre, vetting is not easy. Freddie comes in again with this one. In charge of secretarial board to you the right. Hey, you and writing. Enoch, vetting is something. Anthony is here with not easy, I swear. Regina Tete, Heat. Winifred is back here with, yeah, okay, Enoch, wow. Dorita, Wache, and of course, this one is also from, let me be selective here. Regina, the pressure is high and sweet. AC is here with this one. Hey, now men count why? Hey, Freddie says conflict. Bernard, Boache, Anthony. Oh, please let us be decent with our choice of words, please. Freddie comes in with this question. Did the panelists say share name? Anthony also say, well, vetting be some ways, bio. Yame, Enka SK Hall from Boache, Anthony. And then, apel, vetting no be easy. Hey, vetting be big obstacle, I swear. That one is from Anthony. You can also write to us, keep your messages coming. You're still writing. Well, she loves to write. That is why she is aspiring to be the secretary. Watch Anthony. Anthony, I wish I could see you here to ask you one or two questions. Anthony, okay. Still all the way from Watch Ralph. Bernard, okay. I'm not taking this one. I told you to be selective. Let's be curious with our choice of words here. Richard Otu, Eronia. Keep yours coming. I trust Dorita. Name. Presidency is Thursday. And okay, that's fine. That's fine. Keep your messages coming. Lumas, presidency is Thursday. And you are saying SK by this time. Hey, the race is a marathon. Or, not swift. Relax. I was here. Sam Heat, Stephen Arthur. Thank you. That is Akumapa. I saw him here. Is he still around? Those here, get ready. The moment I finish reading the messages, if the nominee is not here, I wouldn't ask you a question anyway. Because for treasurer, I see you. I would just ask for your expectation, my brother. So if you are around the campus of University of Cape Coast, you can also join us. Samuel Adujamfi. My name is Louise. Kwame Game, how are you doing? Thank you. This Saviola, a former sports secretary. Oh, okay. I'm following you. Samuel Adujamfi, I know this is Kwame Game. Desmond Owusu to 4 Veton is not easy. Of course, it is not easy. Freddie, you said easy. PDF, thank you. My name? Right. Keep the comments coming. We shall be reading them. But if you have not subscribed to our channel, please, this is the time. Do subscribe to our channel. Hit on the notification icon so that you would always get alert on our update, and do well to share our content for the world to get to know what we are doing. This is the morning session, and the vetting committee just finished interacting with Eronia, the first on the list. Let me take a few minutes to interact with those here. The early bird, they say, catches the worm. You're the one closer to me. My brother, how are you? What's your name and which program?
My name is Prince Oseti, to reading BSc Math Business.
Which level are you?
400.
What brought you here?
Come to witness the vet.
To witness the vetting?
Yeah.
How do you see it?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Let me get to know what you expect in the course of the day.
I'm expecting the aspirant to deliver to their best. Then you have to be honest. If you don't know, just tell them the panel that you don't know the question. But I also expect the panel, anytime they ask the question, they should speak louder. Especially the guy in the nose mask. Yes, you speak louder for the aspirant to hear their questions. Thank you.
Which of the questions fascinated you?
The question asked by the lady in the black suit. He asks who's supposed to serve there, who the secretary for the academic board, and then some. Yeah, I think it's a question that took me off a bit. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for making time to speak with us. Let me see. I see him here, president for Kwame Nkrumah Hall of University of Cape Coast. Success. My brother, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us here. What is your take on the vetting so far?
Yeah, so far so good. I would say the first aspirant is doing very well because of the live coverage for the previous years. I've I can really see that they've watched those videos and they are really, really prepared. That's what I can say for now.
Great. Thank you. This one is from Boache Anthony. I need a girl, boss. Hey, Anthony, be careful. This is not Love Reasons. Make time with me. Love Reasons on ATL FM 100.5. This is every Saturday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. That is when I give the opportunity to people, to my listeners, to link up. They call it Tvucc. Yes. So join me there, and I'll give you the opportunity to find someone you want. ABC TV, all the best to your aspirant. Deborah Na Ashoko Awache. Deborah Awache watching from Germany. Just give them easy questions. So, hey, Debbie, which of the questions do you think? Do you think we have easy questions? None of them when you take the hot seat. But thank you for watching us all the way from Germany. This gentleman just joined us there. I like your tie. Let me spend some minutes with him. I like your tie. How are you doing?
Fine, yourself.
Most fine. Thanks for asking. What's your name?
Kelvin.
Kelvin. What brought you here?
I just want to experience what's going on here and also enjoy.
Enjoy? Did you say enjoy?
Yeah, I want to enjoy.
Which level are you?
Level 100.
Level 100. Do you aim to take a position someday to come in your life in the university?
Not yet.
Why?
I think I have to prepare myself also. I've not thought about it anyway.
Have you read the student handbook?
Yes, please.
Which section have you read so far? Let me say, which of the sessions fascinate you? Which of them? Let's base on that to see if indeed you have it in you.
Concerning deferment issues and academic counseling.
I know you know everything there, so I'm not going to ask you any question there. So this is Tvucc. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do that and share this content for the world to get to know what we are doing here. In the afternoon session, we would be vetting. I wouldn't be part of them anyway. The vetting committee is right behind me, chaired by Professor Samuel Isian Bedu, with his vice, Professor Rebecca Demensa, taking care of the CV. So in the afternoon, the student who fared to contest for the SRC treasurer will join us there for the vetting. Do stay with us, and remember to keep your comments coming on the comment section. And of course, if you have not subscribed, this is the time to do that. We love you so much. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, PDF. I'm sure we'll make progress. So we'll continue with the next nominee, Dorita Ofebia Owusu Amponsa, if she's ready. Please sit down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, the chair.
Dorita. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Dorita.
Dorita.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
So Dorita Ofebia Owusu Amponsa.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Please. Thank you.
So kindly state your name, your registration number, and let us know why you're here.
My name is Dorita Ofebia Owusu Amponsa. My registration number is AR/BAA/20/0275. And I filed for nomination to aspire for the SRC General Secretary. And as part of the electoral processes, I'm to appear before the panel. So the chair, I'm glad to be seated here to be vetted. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming, Dorita. So just relax. We'll have some time with you to interact with you. We want to get to know you more. We want the University of Cape Coast community to also get to know you. So feel free and relax. At any point in time, if you need us to take a break, you let us know. If you're uncomfortable, you let us know. There's a bottle of water in front of you. And there's also a pen and some paper in case you want to write anything down. Right. So we'll take it from there.
Thank you.
Hello, Dorita.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have been looking at your CV, And there are a few things that I think you have to take notes. You did it yourself, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So again, I have justification issues. Some of your things are not aligned. But to begin with, you said you are an ambitious, hardworking, outspoken, etc., etc. Who is an ambitious person?
Thank you, the chair. An ambitious person is someone who has a goal to set, and then the person is so determined to reach out to what the person wants. And that's who I am. Yes, please. Thank you.
And how would you explain a positive young lady?
Thank you, the
you
chair.
wrote that as well, yeah.
Yes, please. With that, I mean that a positive lady is someone that embraces every situation. Yeah.
You embrace every situation?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I can see you are Deputy Library and Academic Chairperson. Where?
Yes, please. Oh,
where?
Src Hall. Sorry.
So that information is not here.
Yes, please.
And then, where do you fellowship?
Pensa Ucc.
Because you have Grace Gate as well. Oh.
Yeah, that's my dad's church. So when I'm at home.
When you're at home?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So what is an internal coordinator? Or who is an internal coordinator?
Thank you, the chair. With that, I was in SRC by then. When I came to level 100,
okay,
I was part of the Pensa or item Pensa, and I was selected among those people that will take steer the affairs of the Pensa members in the hall.
So you were a rep for the hall.
Yes,
that's the internal coordinator. That's
yes,
the new name.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. All right. And then you are also a majority chief whip. Majority chief whip of SRC Hall. Tell me what you did there. What roles you undertook.
Thank you, the chair. So with that of the majority chief whip, it's a parliamentary destiny, it's a parliamentary term. So with that, I was part of the majority caucus. So with the majority chief whip, I ensure that my members, the majority bench, are always in line. They are prepared. Everything is okay before we attend parliamentary meetings.
In 2016 to 2017, you were nominated as a class sanitation prefect. How did that come about? Class sanitation prefect.
Thank you. So, thank you, the chair. With that, I was in JHS 2 by then, sorry, and the prefects came around that they want the class to be neat and stuff, like the class should be tidy up and other stuff like that. So the class nominated me, they voted on me because I stood up to aspire for that position of contest, and they voted for me to take charge.
So it wasn't that you were very neat, but it was an election. And then you got people, you campaigned and got people to vote for you.
No, ma. It all counts because I was neat, yes.
Are you a Ghanaian?
Yes, please.
Because we don't have that information here. When were you, what is your date of birth?
Thank you, the chair. I was born on the 29th of April, 2002. Thank you.
You don't have most of your, even your address is not here. So your personal data is or personal profile is written very poorly.
I'm sorry.
We don't know your gender. A lot of things are missing from here. So in future, you want to take time to tell us about yourself. Because ideally, if I were to invite you for an interview at a workplace, your CV should be so nice that I want to see the face behind it. But this one is not doing that. It's very scanty, just one page. And I don't have a lot of things I think should be here. So you need to watch that.
Thank you. I'll work on that.
You have a work experience as a sales manager. What did you do there?
Thank you, the chair. So with the sales managers, my dad has a shop, and I happen to be the person that is in charge
So
of
it's
the
your
sales.
dad's shop?
Yes, please.
Have you been a secretary before?
Yes, please. Currently.
When and where?
Please. Currently, I'm serving as the secretary for the maintenance and repairs committee.
For the
SRC.
where?
I'm serving as the secretary for the maintenance and repairs committee. SRC.
Maintenance and
repairs committee. SRC.
SRC, but it's not here.
Yes, please.
Why?
It was an oversight when I was doing certain things.
I see. So as a secretary, before a meeting, you organize meetings for your people.
Yes.
What are some of the things you have to do before a meeting takes place?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Just tell me 2 things you would do before a meeting takes place.
Thank you, the chair. I'll prepare towards the meeting, and I'll write a notice to I'll draft a letter to all those involved. Yes, please.
So what is a notice?
Thank you, the chair. A notice is a statement that is projected to give an information.
A statement that is projected to give an information.
Yes,
Reload.
Okay, so thank you, please. A notice is written. Thank you, the chair. A notice is written to. It's written to question or warn individuals that are involved in the meeting.
So it's important that you listen to the questions well.
Yes, please.
We are talking about you organizing a meeting. You are coming in for a position as a secretary. And I asked you that what 2 things would you do before a meeting takes place?
Yes, please.
And now I'm asking, and you mentioned notice.
Yes, please.
So I'm asking you what a notice is. And now you're talking about warning. So what do you think a notice is? With respect to meetings.
Okay, so it's written to draw the attention of the people involved to come for a meeting. Yes, please.
It's just inviting people for a pending meeting.
Yes, please.
What about an agenda?
An agenda, thank you, is the items to be discussed during the meeting.
Okay, and how long should you give people, the notice period, how long should it be before the meeting?
It should be, thank you, the chair. I tend to be corrected, 72.
Pardon?
72 hours.
No, it's not 72. If you want to invite somebody for a pending meeting,
a pending meeting. A week.
Do you know or you don't know?
Yes, I
Don't
stand
guess,
to be
don't
corrected.
guess with me. You don't know. Okay, thank you. So it's 2 weeks or 10 working days. Take 10 clear days, or 2 weeks. So you keep that in mind.
Thank you.
I'll come back to you by all means.
Yeah, Richlove.
Yes, please.
How are you?
Please, I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm good too. So recently, Asin North has been in the news. Have
Please
you heard?
kindly speak up so we can hear you, please.
There's been a lot of talk about Asin North in the news. Have you heard?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what is currently happening there?
Okay, so in Asim North, thank you, is a by-election that is happening there.
Okay, okay. So can you mention 3 of the candidates that having the by-election? Not their parties, the names of the candidates.
Thank you. Please, I know of Honorable Charles, who is from the MPP. Honorable Charles.
But I don't know his surname.
No, please.
Okay.
That's from the MPP. And please, that's the only thing I can recall for now.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so let's go. Salam.
You have, let me say, 3 big names: Ofebia, Owusu, and Ponsa. Hey, are you that great?
Yes, please.
You are that great.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So let's see what you can do with your greatness. So I'm going to give a preamble. I'm going to give you a preamble, so you listen very carefully. Yes. So the SRC wants to purchase books worth 100,000 Ghana cedi. The public procurement at 2016 at 914 requires the university to advertise the purchase for the prospective company to bid. Are we good? Or I should go back again?
Yes, please. Go back.
Okay. So the SRC wants to purchase books worth 100,000 Ghana cedi. In accordance with the public procurement at 2016 at 914, the school is required to advertise for bidders to bid. For bidders, so for companies who want to apply to provide the books to do so. Are we good?
Yes, please.
Okay. You have been asked as the secretary to write to the university administration to find out the information if it's right. To find out if the information is right. Are we okay?
Yes, please.
So which department will you be writing to?
Thank you. Please, I'll be writing to the internal audit.
Take your time. The university wants to purchase book worth 100,000 Ghana cedi.
Yes, please.
Are you good?
Yes,
so the procurement act is saying that before that is done, the university needs to open advertisement or give out advertisement to companies which want to bid. Are we okay? And you've been asked to write to a department within the school concerning this to find out if it's true. So which department will you be writing to?
Please, you are making mention of advertisements. They want to advertise it.
Yeah, for companies who want to, bid.
So with the advertisement that I should make mention of the person the department that I'll be writing to, or
Vebia, please pay attention. We don't have a lot of time, so pay attention and answer the question and not ask us questions. When is the opportunity to do that? We'll let you know.
Yes, please.
So if you need him to ask the question again, you can say that.
Yes, please.
All right.
So we should go over again.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So this will be the last time, please.
So the university wants to purchase book worth 100,000 Ghana cedi. The Public Procurement Act requires that the school advertise for companies to bid. You've been asked to write to find out if this information is true. Which office in the university are you supposed to write to?
Okay, thank you. Please, I'll be writing to the office of the Dean of Students.
No. You'll be writing to the procurement section.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's make progress. Isaac.
All right. Thank you so much.
Now you are a secretary. Let's
Yes.
assume, and you are walking around. You know the level hundreds are around, and hopefully your function will, or your role start when you are in level 400. You understand? And the level 200 guy now comes to you and said that I am going through my portal, and then there are courses that I need to audit. And then you are asked, what is an audited course? What will you say? Or you want to explain it to the person, a level 200 person who wants to audit the course. What will you say is an audited course?
Thank you, the chair. Please, with that of an audited course, the person can take the course, but it won't be added to the person's CGPA, though the results will appear in the portal. Thank you.
So just a quick one. So what do you think will be the score for it? Anyway, are you okay?
The score.
All right. Okay. So I think you are right. Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Doretta.
Yes, please.
My question, UCC as an institution has a course numbering system. UCC as an institution has a course numbering system which consists of a 3-letter code and a 3-digit number. What does the 3-letter code represent?
Thank you. The course title.
Come again.
The course code. Please.
Let me go over again.
Yes,
UCC as an institution has a course numbering system which consists of a 3-letter code and a 3-digit number. What does the 3-letter code represent?
The course title.
No, so that is your faculty or your department. So you can find it in the academic policies page 21. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fabia, let me ask you this question on leadership.
Yes, please.
Do you think leaders should necessarily obey all rules and regulations? If you're a leader, do you think it will be necessary for you to obey all rules and regulations?
Thank you for the question, Chair.
Are you a leader?
Yes, please, I am a leader.
So do you think it's necessary for you to obey all rules and regulations?
Yes, please. So far as I am in an institution and there are said rules and regulations, though, okay, the answer will be no, because we are all human beings and we can fall victims of any problem. Yes.
So what do you think should be the punishment for a leader who does not obey rules and regulations that govern the unit or the people or the association that he or she leads?
Thank you, the chair. I believe that the leader will be sanctioned.
So in that case, your earlier answer is not correct.
Yes,
Can we say that?
Yes, I go for no.
You go for no.
Yes.
So a leader should obey all rules and regulations. Or he should not. He or she should not. Do I take it that if you become the SRC secretary, you decide to obey some of the rules and disobey the others? Is that my understanding?
No, please, the chair. Please, what I mean is that we are all human beings and I may fall short of certain things.
But the rules and regulations are there. It spells out the do's and don'ts. So if you know about it and you deliberately flout it, does that make you a good leader?
No.
So if you're hiding behind the fact that we are all humans, we are fallible, so we're likely to break the rules, does that mean that you would want to break the rules?
No, please. That's not what I...
That's not what you're saying.
Yes, please.
But have you broken any rules yet regarding those elections? Be honest with us. Have you broken any rules yet?
Yes, please.
You have?
Yes, please.
What rules have you broken?
My team members, yes, posted around the rota for General Secretary. Yes, please. So that's so far what we've broken.
So you deliberately did that?
No, please. My team members.
Your team members did? So the fact that your team members did does not absolve you from that. So should we apply the punishment, as you've rightly said, should we apply the punishment for breaking that rule?
Thank you, the Chair. As I rightly said, we all fall short of certain things, but I deeply apologize.
But when your team members posted that, you could have asked them to take the posters off because it's not time for campaign yet.
Yes, please.
So did you do that?
I made them stop.
You made them stop?
Yes, please.
But you didn't make them take the posters off?
Please, since it was stuck and couldn't be removed at the vantage point that they did it, so we left it like that.
So you consented to it. Did you know about it before they did it?
No, please, but later on I found out.
So is it the case that you're not in charge of your team?
Please, I am part of the team.
You're part of the team?
Yes, please.
And they are your team members?
Yes, please.
And you're the one in charge?
Yes, please.
So why would they do something like that without you knowing?
Please, the Chair, we really apologize for that.
So should we apply the sanctions in the university handbook accordingly?
No, please.
Why shouldn't we?
Please, we really apologize.
So is it a case that you deliberately flout the university rules and then you come and apologize and then we let it go? If everybody does that, then what do you think will become of the university? So we all deliberately would flout the rules and regulations, and then when we are called to account for that, we apologize and then we let it go. Is that the kind of society, or is that the kind of leadership that you're bringing on board?
No, please.
Okay, I'll come back.
Yes.
Matthew.
Yes, please.
All right, so take your question. A group of students who call themselves Boku West Student Union wants to get the union registered for the first time on campus. They've approached you as the Ucc Src secretary. Educate them how they will be able to go through it so that they can operate on campus peacefully. You get the question, please.
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you for the question. Okay. So with the registration of sex associations, through the amalgamated committee, they register it through the Dean of Students.
Did you really get the question? I mean the procedure. You have to follow some procedural process so that in the end you will be allowed to operate on campus without any hindrance. So please, kindly walk us through, okay? Please feel free and walk us through.
Okay. They will first write to the committee that's amalgamated, sorry, committee.
Amalgamated. Amalgamated. Amalgamated.
Amalgamated.
Good.
Thank you. Committee. To the committee, to the dean of students, they will write the heads of that association will write to that committee, and to that they will get it registered at the dean of students. Thank you.
All right, you have the idea, but that is not exactly the case. What we have here, you can refer that to page 60 of the Student Handbook Regulation 47, precisely.
Thank
so,
you.
an application should be made to the dean of students through the SRC at the beginning of the academic year, and the application should state the patrons, the founding members, and the officers. Such applications should be followed with the constitution of the association. And the dean of students will study those documents and will decide whether to issue a certificate of registration or not. If the dean of students issues a certificate of registration, then the union can operate legally on campus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss. You're welcome again.
Thank you.
Relax. Okay, so the portfolio of the SRC president, okay, puts him in a position of trust. Okay. So if he chooses to abuse the position or use the position for his personal gains to the disadvantage of the students, what is this offense called in the student handbook, and what is the offense in the student handbook?
Thank you for the question. Please, I stand to be corrected. Is it the conspiracy?
It is not the conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Yes, it is called breach of trust, and you will find it at page 34, item number 7. Would you remember the offense? I mean, the sanctions for the offense. Okay, so what will happen? Did you get it?
Yes, please.
So I asked you what such an offense is called and then the appropriate sanctions.
Yes,
and you got the offense wrong, and now I asked you about the sanctions and you got it wrong. So I'm about to tell you what the sanction or the sanctions are. So it states here that the student or the person in the position of trust will have the penalty of a minimum rustication for 2 semesters and the recovery of all the benefits enjoyed by that student. In this case, the scenario, that would be the SRC president. And I said you find it at page 34, item number 7. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
So, Dorita.
Yes, please.
We are in an institution, and we have the disciplinary committee in the institution. We also have the chief disciplinary officer. Who is this officer?
Thank you for the question, Chair. The chief disciplinary officer is the vice chancellor.
You are right.
Thank you.
Miss Dorita.
Yes, please.
Payal, a student of Kisleyford Hall, decides to aspire for the general secretary position. And then people keep telling him that the general secretary position is for ladies, and now he has approached you as the general secretary of this noble institution. How would you enlighten him on that note?
Thank you very much for the question. I believe that, or even in the student handbook, one of the core values of the university is equal opportunities. And I don't see why he can't aspire for the position, because it's open for everyone to aspire for the position.
Okay, so it means regardless of gender, everyone is eligible to
Yes,
contest for the position.
Yes, please.
So what are some of the, what makes a student eligible for the general secretary position?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. So, as at the time of file for nomination, the person should be at a CGPA of 2.5 and above. The person should have paid the school fees in full. The person should be of sound mind.
Okay, you are right.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Please, I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm good. Your question. With organizing being a skill of a general secretary, how would you pull up your first SRC general meeting?
Thank you, the chair, for the question. Okay, so I will do that with the consultation of the coordinating secretary.
The question is, how are you going to organize your first general secretary, your first general meeting as the general secretary?
General meeting.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. Okay, so with the general meeting, since it involves the whole school, that's the students populate, we have to write to the notices of all the JCRC notice board so that they'll become aware of the meeting. And we'll organize that with the help of the coordinating secretary. Thank you. With the consultation. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. That's what.
Dorita.
Yes, please.
How are you doing?
Please, I'm fine.
So
we are exceeding expectations.
You what?
Exceeding expectations.
Good. So a class confronts you to have a vigil. You know a vigil?
Please come again.
So a class confronts you to have a vigil. So a member of the class has passed on or passed away, and they want to have a vigil for the dead. So what are the process that the class must follow to have the vigil on campus for the past student?
Please, I'm not getting it well because project for me.
So you are in a class, okay, and a candidate A in your class is no more in the class. And you want to organize a vigil, okay? You hold candles on campus and you have a procession, okay? So in this school, before you have such procession, there are processes that you must follow before you have the vigil. So what are some of the processes that you must do or you must take into consideration before you have the vigil on campus?
Thank you, the chair. Please, I would have to write a letter to the dean of students to get the approval before said procession can take place on campus.
And how many hours do you need to write the letters for approval?
72 hours.
72 hours?
Yes, please.
So you have to do it 48 hours before the procession.
Okay.
And that term is called DRAP. So demonstration, rallies, assemblies, and procession. And it's found in the student handbook page 37.
Fabia.
Yes, please.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, please.
All right, so thank you very much for coming. You hear from the committee soon.
Thank you.
So we're still live on TV, UCC, and at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajumain Auditorium. This is the vetting of the 2024 SRC local Nugs election. This morning session, we're vetting aspirants for SRC secretary. We're just done with our second nominee. We'll move on to the third nominee. PDF, if you're ready, we'll give you 2 minutes and we'll take over. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, the chair. So, but of course, we cannot be less appreciative for making time to watch us live. This is TV UCC, and I'm picking few messages here. Boache Anthony. But I'm not picking this one. I told you to be decorous. Right. Felix Gabriel Hassan, your candidate, don't die. Amagame Abaga. I'm sorry. The girl has answered only 2 out of 11 questions. Hey, General Secretary Nye Gabi. Boache Anthony, down ball. Relax. Okay, and this one is also from Game Edits. Adama. No, I can't pronounce this one, bro. But right, keep your messages coming. We're waiting for the next nominee to join us here. This is the Nana Jane Nano Pukwajiman Auditorium. And of course, if you find yourself anywhere around the campus of University of Cape Coast, you can also join us. But you can also share this content for the world to get to know what we're doing here. Kennedy is saying, I thought we were promoting the Kumericans to rule the university, but Adamagated the dear Kumerica. Let's make it interactive. Yeah, do share. Gabriel, Dorita isn't fit for no. Daniel, Dorita just say it is your opponent's propaganda. So, okay, it's propaganda something that they are doing. Game, the girl does the cell phone. Please alert me when we're ready to start the next one. Chale Asanteforno, the carry lasso. Watch Obwa. Come on. David Kobler, Dorita is actually bleeding at the moment. Relax, saying hot seat was it relax. Somewhere sense so sugar. Oh, you people too is okay, yeah. And interesting comments here. Emanuela J. Miss Mela, okay. Daniel, why should you say your team? Okay. Adepa Sla. Oh, she's suffering. Oh, Ken Pruni. If your team does something without your knowledge, then you are not a leader. Is that what you think? Is that not delegation? Okay, maybe. Watch your words. This could risk your performance. The 5 C's of critical thinking. Watch Anthony. Don't be using unnecessary. All right. So we're picking the next nominee. Keep your comments coming intermittently. I would be reading. The chair. Coming. This is TV UCC. And of course, if you are not subscribed to our channel, this is the time. This is the time. Please don't wait. This is the time. Subscribe to our channel. Hit on the notification icon. Very important so that you will always get alert on our update. And do share this content for the world to get to know what we're doing. We're interested in your thoughts, so share that with us. Let me see if I can get any of the ladies to speak with us. You're laughing. You think I'm going to ask somebody a question that the person may not be in position to answer, so you'll be laughing at the person. Join us here and keep your comments coming. So we're handing over to the chairman to continue the vetting with the next nominee for the SRC General Secretary. Stay with us.
Thank you very much, PDF. We're still live inside the Nana Opoku Agyemang Auditorium. This is the vetting of nominees for the 2023-2024 SRC local Nugs elections. We this morning are vetting nominees for SRC Secretary. We're done with the first two. We have two more to go before we take a break and reconvene in the afternoon. Please follow us live on TV UCC. Leave your comments in the comment section. You can also join us at the Nana Opoku Agyemang Auditorium and lend your support to the candidates. Our next nominee is Esther Obing. If she's ready, you can usher her in. You're welcome. Please sit down. You're welcome, Esther.
Thank you very much, Che.
Right. So, kindly tell us your name, your registration number, and why you're here.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chair, for the question. I'm highly honored to be seated before the panel to have my vetting done. Please, I'm in the person of Obing Esther, level 300 Beard Art student. My index number is EH at 20 0323, and I'm here to have an interaction with the panel to give me access to serve as the next XRC General Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the access would be determined in a very short while based on the interactions we'll have with you. Feel free. We're live on TV UCC, so smile as much as you can. And at any point in time, if you're uncomfortable, you let us know. If you want us to take a break, you let us know. There's a bottle of water in front of you. Feel free and relax. And we'll go through the session in a very short while. Okay?
Thank you very much, Prof. Chair.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Miss, Madam.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You are looking good.
Thank you.
Okay. I've looked through your CV. Did you prepare it yourself?
Yes, please, I did, and with the help of my friend.
Okay. And you printed it yourself?
Yes, please.
Because I can see a lot of spaces. A lot of spaces in your CV. You have about 5-page CV, which could have easily been a 3-page CV.
Yes, please.
So, and you don't have a title. Usually you should have, there's no title there, but you have a very good personal data. And so in future, when you are preparing it, you just be mindful of the spaces. It makes the whole thing unprofessional.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam.
Okay. So in your profile, you wrote that you persevere to make things happen.
Yes, please.
So tell me about that. What things have you persevered and made happen?
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Chair, for the question. Okay. I'm a young, enthusiastic lady who perseveres to make things happen, as you said. Yes. In cases when I find myself where people are saying, this thing can't be done, this can't be done, I always tell myself, it can be done. and I will be optimistic about what I want to do. And truly, truly, and God being on my side, I'll be able to deliver and make the thing happen. And at the end, people will be like, wow, Esther, how did you make this happen? And then I have to take them through to let them know how I made it happen. Thank you.
You also said that you do things in the right way. You did say that.
Yes, please, I did say that.
Are you sure that is correct?
From my perspective and my conscience, after any activity I do, I ask myself whether what I did was right and it's pleasing to God. If it's that, I consider it as right and I move on. Thank you.
So do you consider pasting your posters around before time a right thing to do?
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Chair, for the question. Initially, I didn't know that it was a mistake to paste your stickers around before vetting, and I duly apologize for that. But it was not with the intention of campaigning, but it was with the intention of creating awareness that ST, as the current Ogawa Secretary, would like to aspire for SRC General Secretary. So please, that was the intention behind.
There was a timetable, and that clearly stated when you should campaign. So if you say you didn't know, I don't believe you.
Please, that was then, but now I know.
So what are you going to do about it?
And please, we will take them off. And even most of them are off because of the rains. We don't really see them around. Yes, please.
You have been Ogwa Hall JCRC Secretary, correct?
Yes, I am.
You still are?
Yes, please.
So why didn't you go for Ogwa Hall President?
Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for the question. I didn't go for Ogwa Hall presidency because I felt I had not built that capacity enough to work in the space of a president. But I felt I've built capacity enough to serve or to continue serving as a secretary for the institution. Thank you.
What about vice president? You haven't built capacity for that as well?
For that, I had built capacity for that, but I didn't want to go in for that.
Because it would be difficult for you to get that?
No, please. It wouldn't have been difficult.
I see. So you wrote something here as part of your leadership experience. You said liaising with the SRC reps to announce meetings. What is the right word you should have used?
For the liaison or to...
The sentence. You liaise with SRC reps to announce meetings.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. Okay, so please, I liaise with the SRC reps to make notices of meetings available to students.
Exactly. Exactly. So as a secretary, you have to speak secretarial English.
Thank you very much, Mom.
And you are a welfare coordinator. No, welfare committee member.
Yes, please.
Then chief shepherd for leadership. What is that?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I was the chief shepherd for Leadership International, and it's a club in the schools for Lighthouse International where they train young leaders and people to become potential leaders. Like they train people to be leaders of various institutions we find ourselves in. So I was the chief shepherd for all the leaders in the group. Thank you.
Chief shepherd. So tell me some of the functions of a leader.
Functions of a leader. Okay, thank you very much for the question. Functions of a leader. The basic function of a leader is to make impact and get people to follow you as your followers. So as a leader, you should be a multitasker, you should be time manageable, you should be professional in your doings, and you should be a role model for the people who look up to you. Thank you.
How should a leader treat feedback, both positive and negative? If somebody gives you a feedback as a leader, because you have occupied a few leadership roles, how should you treat feedback?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. To treat a feedback, you should sit down and analyze what has been said to you whether it came to you directly or indirectly. Sit and think about it. If you are guilty of it, you change and then you improve upon yourself. But if you are not guilty and it's just a rumor or it's a hearsay, you just forget about it and then you move on. Thank you.
So you will even thank the person who gave you the feedback?
Please, you will. You will thank the person and then you acknowledge the person for coming in to tell you that.
Over the years, what kind of leader have you been?
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Over the years, from basic to JHS to SHS, I have served in different leadership roles.
I'm talking about the leadership styles.
Oh, okay.
So over the years, what style have you adapted? You know we have leadership styles.
Yes,
so
please.
which of the styles have you adapted over the period?
Okay, thank you very much, Chair, for the question. Please, I've been a democratic leader all this while because I always give ears to what my people tell me and then I work on it. Especially when I was in SHS, there were a lot of complaints coming and we had to stand in as the SRC to work for our people and then speak on their behalf. Thank you.
So who is a democratic leader?
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. Please, a democratic leader is someone who listens to his people, who stands in for his people, and will always be on behalf of his people, thinking and acting in the right manner to defend them.
What is a minute?
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. Please, a minute is written during a meeting for all the proceedings and everything that goes on during the meeting by the secretary.
Speak secretarial English. What is a minute?
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. Okay, a minute is an official document that is written during the proceedings of a meeting by the secretary, which entails everything that was said during the meeting. Thank you.
I'll come back to you. There was one thing I wanted to draw your attention to. Your referees, you don't have email addresses for any of them. So in future, you'd want to take notes of that.
Thank you very
but
much.
I'll definitely come back to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Esther.
Yes, miss.
I love your heels.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, have you ever been to the Emmanuel Ado Obains building before?
Yes, please. The central administration.
Good. Where is D-Hub located?
D-Hub.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. If my memory serves me right, I think it's in the second chamber, last floor.
Please come again.
In the second chamber, last floor.
Second chamber,
Last floor. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'll get back to you.
Okay.
On that. What is one of the core objectives of the D-Hub?
Core objectives of the D-Hub. Okay, so from what I know the D-Hub is a digital hub or a technological something that, sorry for that, that helps students with the technology aspect and then the digital aspect. So I can say one of the core values of the D-Hub is digitalization.
Okay, so let me help you with that. So D-Hub is Design Thinking and Innovation Hub. It's not digital hub.
Sorry.
Okay. So it's located at Emmanuel Ado Obains building, second building, ground floor. Please, you get it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So one of the core objectives of this D-Hub, of the hub, is they are into entrepreneurship. So they promote the productivity or the productivities of student entrepreneurs in the university. So their aim is to help students who are entrepreneurs bring up creative ideas and also build on the creative ideas to explore more entrepreneurship ideas on campus. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. How would you prioritize and manage multiple tasks effectively as the secretary?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Okay, as a secretary, one of your duties or one of your values should be multitasking, where time management also comes in here. So you prioritize your activities according to how you've managed your time. If you're able to multitask very well, you have to prioritize what you want to do, whether in the day or whatever that wherever you find yourself. You prioritize and then you set time boundaries for it. You can even set an alarm to be reminding you of everything that you'll be doing after that. And that will help you to multitask. Thank you.
Well done.
Yes, sir.
ST, so soon after you assume office as the SRC General Secretary, your president found a way for you to earn money. That is, you use the letterhead of the SRC to write a letter to a company. And in doing so, the company will give you money, which the monies are going into your pockets. So I guess this money can help you retrieve all the monies you lost during your campaign. So what would you do? Your SRC president asks you to use the letterhead of the SRC to write a letter to a company, which the money from the company is going into your own pockets. What would you do?
Thank you very much for the question. Please, is it as in we are writing the letter for sponsorship or for my own
The
personal
money
gain?
is going into your pockets.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. I have one principle I work with, that whatever you find yourself doing, do it unto God, not unto man. So as I'm going in there using the UCC's letterhead or the SRC letterhead to seek for money from a company and coming right into my pocket, which I know it's not right, please, I won't do it.
Your SRC president asked you to write a letter using the letterhead, and even the money is going into your pocket. You won't do it.
No, please.
Okay. In your CV, you also added something that you act as president in the absence of the president and then the vice president. So let's say in organizing a program, and then funds are needed for that program to occur, and then after you sign on the check, which other individuals are also required to sign before you get the funds for the program?
Thank you very much for the question. After I sign as in acting as my president or the vice president, my treasurer also has to sign, and then the senior hall tutor or our hall warden has to sign for that. But if it's in the SRC level, I know the dean of students is the senior treasurer who has to sign all our documents. So we will send it to him for him to sign. Thank you.
You said in the SRC level, who are those supposed to sign?
I know it's the dean of students who is the senior treasurer. So in case of anything relating to money, in the absence of my president and my vice president, I will take it to him to help us sign.
Okay, you're right.
You.
Esther.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you gone through the SRC Constitution?
Yes, please. I have gone through the SRC Constitution.
Can you tell us the last function outlined under your portfolio in the SRC Constitution?
Okay. Please be clear for me. Is it the new constitution or the old constitution?
The new constitution.
Okay, thank you very much. So I know the last point there is under the roles of the SRC General Secretary. The last point there is the coordinating secretary acting instead of the General Secretary when she's not around.
Okay, you are right.
Thank you.
Please kindly hold on with the applause. If not, I would kindly ask all of you to leave. Please, let us finish with the session and then you can applaud, please. Thank you very much. Let's make progress.
Yes. Miss Obey.
Yes,
Right?
Miss.
Wow. I also like your heels.
Thank you.
So every student belongs to a college, a faculty or school, and a department. So what college, faculty or school, and department does a student reading Bachelor of Commerce and Management belong to?
Please come again.
I'm asking you that what college, faculty or school, and department does a student reading Bachelor of Commerce and Management belong to?
Thank you very
please
much.
Hold on before you answer. Please. There's too much noise from the gallery. Please. There are seats in front. You can kindly take your seat, and whilst you do that, we'll kindly plead with all of you to stay quiet so the nominees can hear the questions and answer them. We also would disqualify your candidate if we realize that you're talking and whispering the answers to the candidate. So please take note of that and let's all comply. Thank you.
Please, the question again.
Yes. So I asked earlier on the college, faculty or school, and department of a student reading Bachelor of Commerce and Management belong to.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. The person may be coming from the College of Legal Studies and Social Sciences. And the school can be, the school is School of Business. And please, the last point.
Department.
Please, I will plead to the panel to help me out.
Okay, you've done well. So the person does belong to College of Humanities and Legal Studies and the School of Business. The department is Department of Management. You will find this in the student handbook, page 15 to page 16. But you've done well. That was a good attempt.
Thank you very much.
All right, Esther.
Yes, sir.
I really admire your smile.
Thank you.
You appear quite experienced, and I can see that in your CV. Do you belong to any union on campus, any association?
Yes, please. I
What
do
is that?
belong. Please, I belong to the National Union of Presbyterian Students. That is Nugs.
Any other union?
No, please.
Well, that is okay. So suppose your association wants to hoist banners on campus. There are some laid down processes you'll have to follow so you can do that amicably. Kindly walk us through. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. So please, if my union wants to hang or hold their banners around, we have to write a formal letter to the Directorate of Public Affairs to seek for their consent before we can hang those banners around. Thank you.
All right, that is quite satisfactory. You have missed some part. You have to, banners will be posted or pasted at designated places and they must be removed not 2 weeks later than the date of posting. So it's quite satisfactory.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Esther.
Yes,
How are
miss.
you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, I'm blessed. Thank
Thank
you for
God.
asking. So my question is, every institution has a delivery mode, which is being used by them. So UCC as an educational institution has a delivery mode we use. What are the delivery modes of the University of Cape Coast that they use to offer its programs?
Please, I don't get the question clear. Can you come again?
Okay, thank you. Every institution has a delivery mode used by them. What are the delivery modes the University of Cape Coast uses to offer its programs?
Uses to offer its programs.
Yeah, that is the program of study.
Okay. I'm not quite familiar with this, but I think when you pick a form to gain, is it when you are gaining admission into the school?
Mister,
Yes, sir.
simply put, what are the modes of delivering programs in the University of Cape Coast? Do you have any idea? So the university runs programs and delivers them in different modes. What are the modes?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Please, we have the distance education, and we have the regular students also. Yes, please, I think.
Good, that's correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the sandwich.
Please, sir.
We have the sandwich mode as well.
Okay, thank you very
We
much.
have the
sir.
distance, we have the regular, and then we have the sandwich mode.
All right. Esther.
Yes.
Going
Chair.
through your CV shows that you are doing great, and I'm sure these questions too, you will try and do great. You see, this session, you agree with me that we are not just here just to vet you, then you go and pass through, you know.
Yes.
You agree with me that it's also an educative session too.
Yes,
and
sir.
as we are doing this, people are outside, they are watching, and there are people there too who want to come in, just as we are here. So I want to find out from you, you passed through or you came here through the WAEC, was it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before you gain admission here, we just want you to tell us or educate your little sisters outside there who want to come to UCC. The general requirement for admission if you are holding the YC results.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. To let somebody gain admission into the university, the person should be a holder of a WASI certificate,
Okay.
or maybe an SSC certificate.
I am asking just on the WAEC.
Right, okay.
So forget about the SSC.
Thank
then let's enter on the WAEC.
Okay. So the person should have the WASI certificate with good qualification standards, like with good grades to enable the person to read the program he wants to come and read. So if maybe the person is in the general arts department, where it entails reading and a lot of readings.
You are talking about good grades. You know, we are talking about having 3 of your core and 3 of your electives combined before you gain admission, right? So we're talking about not necessarily having correct grades. What is the requirement? What is the cutoff point? I don't know, you get the question?
Yes, please.
So what's the cutoff point? With the WASI results, yeah, you have good grades, but what is the cutoff point?
Thank you very much for the question.
Please, I can still hear a lot of noise and whispering at the back, especially from the middle section of the gallery. This would be the last warning.
Thank you very much.
If you do again, we'll have no option than to disqualify the candidate. I am not going to repeat this again. Thank you. Proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, I think the cutoff point differs from all schools and colleges, because I remember when I was filling mine, our cutoff point was 15 for boys and then 18 for girls. That is what I remember. Thank you.
So if you are just a general student, you want to come and read arts, for instance, I want to read social studies, we have a cutoff point. I don't know you understand what I'm saying. With that, the cutoff point, it means that anybody can come inside, regardless of the program you are coming to read. You get that? But what I expect you to answer is that, do you want to attempt it, or I should give you what?
Please give me that.
All right. So you need A to D.
A to D?
Yes, in any of your elective courses. And then your total aggregate should give you 36.
36.
Yes, that is what I was looking for. But then I think your attempt is fair. It's a bit. All right. So thank you.
Esther.
Yes, Chair.
I just have one question for you. You have been a Nugs president, a vice president, right?
Yes, Chair.
And you have been assistant head girl, chief shepherd leadership, council rep for level 100, welfare, and Ugwa secretary. Is that not enough? Why do you still want to take up positions? Don't you want to go home with first class? Because
Thank you
you have
very
a very
much.
good CGPA. So I was thinking, with all these experiences, why don't you concentrate on your academics and then go home with a first class? Why another position?
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. I believe in students or human beings engaging themselves in the curricular activities and also the co-curricular and extracurricular activities. These activities broadens your minds and your scope of horizon for you to learn a lot from different platforms. So when I engage myself in leadership roles, I feel as I am delivering to the people, I am also learning and enriching myself in my qualities. That is why I still persist and move on to pick up leadership roles wherever I try finding myself.
So you want to continue to take up leadership roles?
Yes, please.
And it will not affect your study? It does not affect your studies?
It does, but as a secretary, you should be a multitasker and a person who is able to manage your time well.
I see.
Thank you.
Walk us through your hobbies again.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Please, I love to write and read. I love to cook. And yes, please. Yeah.
You don't like to sing?
No, please.
You don't like to
I
sing?
don't have a good voice.
Really?
No, please.
I see. All right.
Hello, Esther.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you a model?
No, please.
You are not a model.
No, please.
Because I liked how you came in. Yeah, it was really, So I realized that you did introduction to Chinese, right?
Yes, Chair.
I want to learn Chinese from you. How do you say you are welcome in Chinese?
Please, can you ask another thing so that...
Another. So what about good afternoon?
No, please. I know ni hao as in hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then ni hao ma, how are you?
How are you? Oh, okay. At least I've learned something from you.
Thank you.
So let's come to the order of the day. So I'm going to ask you a question from the University Financial Regulation Policy and Procedure.
Okay.
Do you know what expenditure is?
Expenditure.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I have a little knowledge about it.
So how would you define expenditure?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. An expenditure, I can say, is like a budget you've prepared for an amount of money you have in relating to what you want to do. So if maybe you want to buy a set of furniture, maybe you have like 100 cedis, that's right up, or you matching up the money to the set of furniture will be the expenditure that you'll be working on.
Okay. So at least you have a fair idea of the question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah, so now the question is, can you mention any 3 items the school incurs as expenditure?
Please come again.
Any 3 items that the school incurs as expenditure?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question.
So
Okay.
it could be a service, anything. It could be service, an item, so any 3 areas.
Okay. So when the school delivers with the health services, I think that can be, and then with our furnitures in our classroom, as in from the estate section, we can have an expenditure on that.
I think you are doing right, but I want you to contextualize it. how would you call the expenses made by the health facility of the university?
Health expenses or expenses made on health? Please, no idea. Please help me out.
Okay, so So we have academic expenses, we have research cost, we have administrative cost, we have student and staff cost. Then we also have municipal cost, pension and gratuity. Municipal cost, pension and gratuity. Then we have miscellaneous. You can find this on page 180. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Esther, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
So, have you been following the news recently?
Yes, please, kind of.
International news.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, recently there has been a lot of talk concerning a vessel named Titan. Do you know what it is? Have you heard about it?
Named?
Titan. Titan.
Okay.
Have
Yes,
you?
please, yeah.
Okay, so what is it and what happened to it?
Okay, so please, it's about the U.S. Marine that is being lost close to the Titan, and people have been found dead from that because they were in the Marine or something, and they can't find them. They are lost. So I saw the picture of a very fat man, and they said he is one of the multi-millionaires in the submarine. And I also know the youngest in the submarine is 19 years old. So, yeah, I think
Okay, so what were they doing?
the submarines.
Yes, they were in the vessel.
Okay.
And yes, it's a submarine. What were they doing?
Okay, I think maybe they were going for expedition or a research work or something.
Okay, and how many souls were aboard?
How many?
Souls were aboard. How many people were on the vessel?
Please, for that, I didn't see.
Oh, okay. So there were 5 people.
5 people.
Yes, and they were, as the international news agencies put it, they were chronicling the Titanic.
Okay.
Yes, and unfortunately, they are lost or dead, as you said. So well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Esther. This brings us to the end of your session. You hear from the committee soon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're still live on TV UCC, and we're transmitting live from the Jane Nana Opoku Ajumain Auditorium. This is vetting of nominees for the 2023-2024 SRC local Nugs elections. This morning's session began around 10 a.m. and we're vetting nominees for the position of SRC secretary. We have our final nominee for our morning session before we take a break and reconvene in the afternoon. So if we have Helena Kai Ai ready, you can usher her in. Thank you. If the candidate is ready, please usher her in.
Right, I'm also taking some few minutes to read a couple of messages that we have received here on our platform. Boache Anthony, he said that Dorita, Kumerican Asaka, and then he continued to say Dorita, last, Dorita will take him. Cecilia Pia, I'm proud to be the school father of ST from Upas, Father Raphael. I thought your name is Cecilia. How interesting. and World Tabernacle Planetary Ministry. ST. Please, Mahu ST, take it easy. And Yebeka TV, Ogaho to the world, with this and many others. Choose wisely, and yet the DP. And then Boache is in again with your Tuntunse Angel. And interesting comment. You can also write to us. Sugar, position here. Okay, he said position here would do too much. And Boache, it be proper research. Why? Not a poor. Wabeng. Anthony. Boache Anthony comes in again with Madam Wabeng too much. DNA. And Dorita Nametiase. The girl is good. Dorita is better. So good, better, best. Really. ST for God and UCC. ST will choose God over money. Emmanuel Ofori. Hey, Bossu. And then Bochi is in. Bochi, thank you very much. You've been with us. This tells me that, of course, you're following us. Please do alert me when the next candidate or nominee is in. Just say 90% to, hey, with your bang. And compliments keep coming. Let me see if those here will get, okay. The next nominee is ready, so right away I am leaving the microphone in the hands of the chairman to continue the exercise. Keep your comments coming. I will be reading them. Wachi, thank you. Right. Let me continue with that. Deborah, na Ashioko Awachi. I'm currently on school holidays, and watching this is really fun, especially seeing these smart people and also my brother, Rich Love Ampofo, as a member of the panel. Okay, you write to us from Germany. Debbie, thank you. Would want to learn a bit of Germany, the German language. So say hello there, and let me see if I can repeat that. Debbie. Okay, Oscar. ST, everything is on a low down. It's a low down popcorn. Okay. Quite interesting comment. All right. ST, get not being. This one is from Apple. But we'll take a few minutes. Let's interact with those here. The early bird, they say. Now. Give me space here. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Fine, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How do you see the questions? How do you see the questions?
Oh, it's quite cool. It's quite cool.
The student handbook questions, you familiar with them? Those coming out so far?
No, really.
But have you read the student handbook?
I glanced through when I was in level 100. But since then, I've not actually had time to go through again.
You're a senior man.
Oh, no, I won't say I'm a senior man. But
so far, what do you have to say about the vetting?
Everything is going on well. So far, so good.
What's your name and your program?
I'm Moses Kumsen. I'm reading BSc Agriculture, level 400.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm very
well. Which of the questions got your attention?
I think the question the last panel asked about the submarine issue, honestly, I wasn't expecting that. Because for me, I don't really pay much attention to current affairs and those things. So if it were me, honestly, it would be very, very, very problematic for me to answer that question.
All right, thank you. The committee is ready, so we hand over to the chair to continue. Stay with us.
Thank you very much. PDF, if the candidate is ready, please usher her in. Please take your seat. You're welcome. Use the microphone, please.
Thank you very much.
All right. So kindly state your name, index number, and tell us the reason why you're here.
My name is Helena Kai Ai. I'm with the index number AR/CMS/20/0157. Thank you very much, the Chair. My name, like I earlier stated, I'm Helena Kai Ai. I'm in level 300 here in the University of Cape Coast, and I'm reading Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. I'm hardworking, I am self-motivated, and I can really well work under pressure. Last week, I did file for nomination to run as the SRC General Secretary, and a communique came out after the nominations were filed, and I was scheduled to come here this morning to be vetted. So that's why I'm here, please.
Welcome.
Thank
Nakai.
you. Yes, please.
All right. So, Nakai, are you a Ghanaian?
Yes, please, I am.
I see. Because I can't find that here. I don't know where you come from. In fact, nothing about you is here apart from your name and email address and phone number. The other important ingredients that will really introduce you to us is not here. So in future, when you are drafting your CV, you have to take note of that. Your CV, you don't have a title as well. You have a very good template, but I don't think you made very good use of it. So in future, you started with professional summary. And I've been looking through. I thought, some people would go to the back and then put their CV, their personal data there. It is not there. And you didn't also number your CV. And these are petty things that you should take note of. You said you are very creative. You are smart, creative, and innovative. Tell me about that.
Yes, please. Thank you very much for the question, Chair. So, in the past, I've had interest in running some businesses, and I took that initiative from my mom's business. She used to sell fabrics in her shop, and she hardly had sales. So I tapped into her business by sometimes doing online marketing through WhatsApp status for her, and she was increasing in sales. So I was able to be creative in that venture and be smart about the business. Thank you, please.
So what about your managerial skills? You said you possess excellent managerial skills. How do we assess that?
Yes, please. Thank you, the Chair, for the question. Being a secretary, I've been able to manage my co-executives in carrying out duties and meeting deadlines in order to attain a specific goal.
Being a secretary where?
At the Communication Student Association, COMSA Ucc, please.
How long have you been there?
Thank you, the Chair. I started working there last semester, and this semester as well.
Is it a full-time job? You started working there?
No, not working. I started having my executive role from last semester.
How long does it last? It's for how many years? Do you know?
1 academic year.
1 academic
yes,
year. Tell me about your being poised to learn and relearn.
Thank you very much, the Chair. I believe that as an individual, you might know something and then there are developments every day that will require you to relearn or unlearn what you already know, because the world is evolving and changing. So it demands that you, at a point, relearn and unlearn certain things you already know to better enhance yourself.
Who is
Thank
the
you.
receptionist?
A receptionist, thank you, the chair, for the question. A receptionist is mostly an individual who sits at the front desk of an organization.
He just sits there from morning to
No,
evening. Because you
please.
wrote here that you were a receptionist.
Yes, they sit there and work.
Do what?
Client
Because
services.
there is a role for receptionists. So I want you to tell me who a receptionist is, i.e., what a receptionist does.
Thank you. The chair, please. A receptionist is mainly focused. A receptionist is mainly focused on client services, those that come into an organization and they try to find out what the individual who has come in needs, and they meet their needs and help them find their way to the reason why they came there. Yes.
Nice. So a receptionist basically, like you said, welcomes people into the organization.
Yes, please.
Directs and redirects them.
Yes.
What is an agenda?
Thank you, the chair. An agenda is a motion set before the house.
No, I want you to. If you say a motion set, don't. I want you to give me a proper explanation of what an agenda is.
Yes, please.
With respect to meetings.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. An agenda is a list of items that is required to be discussed at a meeting.
And then how do you get people to come before you discuss these items on the agenda?
Okay, so thank you very much, the chair. This is mainly given to the secretary to do. The secretary is responsible to inform the co-executives or people who are supposed to be present at the meeting about the meeting, and also she's supposed to circulate the agenda that would be discussed and prepare logistics in terms of water.
So, the invitation, one name. How would he invite the people who are supposed to come for the meeting? If I want one name for that process, what name would you give it? The invitation of the people to come for the meeting. What one name would you give to that?
I'm not so sure I know the name, please.
You know it. You are not just taking your time to listen.
Okay.
You want people to come for a meeting. As a secretary, what is the first thing you would do?
You're supposed to make an announcement to.
So how do you make the announcement? You hold a megaphone and go around and start shouting?
No, please.
So how do you make that announcement?
Through a letter or.
And what is the name of that letter?
Invitational letter to a meeting.
Not a wedding. I said a meeting. So it's a notice. You send notices to members who are eligible to attend that meeting.
Yes, please.
Have you done any presentations in your life?
Yes, please. In class.
In class, okay.
Yes,
so how do you do your presentation? Give me maybe 3 segments of a presentation. If you have to do a presentation, how do you start? How do you go about it?
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. So first of all, before you have a presentation, with a typical example, the one. So we first of all sat as a group and discussed the item we're supposed to present about, and we came in front of the class with a PowerPoint presentation to the class, and we speak to it whilst educating the class on.
Let me ask you the same question I've already asked someone. In presentations, we say, tell us what, there are 3 categories, really. Tell us what you want to say it, and tell us what you have said. Tell us what you want to say it, and tell us what you have said. So tell us what you have to say would mean what?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, the chair. So tell us what you want to say. Would be the introduction of what you want to talk about, and say it. You explain it, and tell us what you have said. We'll give a brief summary of what you've said.
Very good.
Thank you.
And your referees, it should be referees. I keep saying that you have references. They are two different things. And none of them have email addresses. So in future, you'd want to take note of that. My final question is, you have strong, per your skills, you have strong organizational skills for efficient task and deadline arrangements. How do you do that?
Thank you very much, the chair. I'll cite an example again. So, in my role as a secretary at the Communication Students Association, I was able to be on the toes of my executives to make sure each and every one who is supposed to carry out a particular role carry them out, and we all meet a particular deadline for a successive program.
You are in which hall?
Come in Nkrumah Hall, please.
Why didn't you go for a secretary position in that hall?
Okay, thank you very much, the chair. Currently, I'm serving as a secretary at the department, and through that service, I've gained some skills and experience, as well as at the hall level and the Wejabari Municipal Assembly as well. And me currently serving as the secretary for the sponsorship committee of the hall, I deemed it necessary that I've bid my hall a point of service. I've given my department a point of service, and I deem it very necessary to extend my point of service also to the university front as a whole.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hello, Naya.
Hello.
Please, how are you doing?
Please, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm also fine. So, my question is, a foreign investor has reached out to you to support a building project in the university. Okay. So, for the purpose of formalities, you have to give the foreign investor an address or addresses so that the investor can reach out to the school. What address or addresses will you give to the investor?
Can you kindly reframe the question?
Okay, so Olivia Kwatima group of companies, okay, wants to support a building project in the university. Please pay attention.
Yes, please.
And I've reached out to you as the general secretary. For the purpose of formality, I can't just come and say, nah, because I know you, just let the building construction take into process. So kindly give me an address that I can reach out to, so that for the purpose of formality, it shouldn't be any other project or any other thing like that.
Okay, thank you very much. So the person in question is a constructor.
An investor,
an investor.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, that will be an external body who wants to aid service in the university. And I'll direct the person to the Dean of Students, because if an external body is to come to the university, the Dean of Students is supposed to be aware of that first. And me being a general secretary, I cannot just give the person a go-ahead. So I'll direct the person to the Dean of Students to get approval before any other step is taking place.
Okay, so what's the address of the Dean of Students that you give to the investor?
Yes, please. So the Dean of Students, University of Cape Coast, and Cape Coast, yes. So I'll direct the person to the Dean of Students.
Okay, so the Dean of Students has an email that a foreign investor can reach out to. So the student, or the email is studentaffairs@ucc.edu.gh. Please, did you get it? Thank
yes,
you.
please.
Hello. Helena.
Helen.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Okay. What experience do you have that demonstrates your organizational and administrative skill? And how do you believe it will contribute to the effectiveness as a secretary?
Thank you very much. So, my experience, I would center around my department again. So, with my organizational skills, I was able with my executives to organize ourselves as an executive body that's supposed to run the affairs of the students and administration of the association as well. And being organized, I deemed it necessary for our association to have an office, a working one, that will aid our administrative work. So I was able, with the help of my executives, to rally and lobby for a working office that's available to us. So I would base that on being able to organize my people, my executives, in achieving a target.
Okay. So within a space of 30 seconds, give us the vote of thanks. Take this to be your first ever general first ever general SRC meeting. So give us the vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I'll start. Thank you. So, I'd like to thank God for this program that has been able to pull through and be very successful. I'll the school management for giving us the go to organize this program, and especially to the Dean of Students who has been our head and helping us and directing us as well. I'd love to thank our special guest and invited guest as well, standing on the already existing protocols. I would also want to thank all guests present for helping making this occasion an August one. Thank you all for coming.
Well done. Satisfaction.
All right. Now,
yes, please.
The SRC president, assuming you are the secretary now, the SRC president and the vice presidents are unavailable. You've been privileged to chair the executive board meeting of the SRC. How would you go about this together in writing minutes?
Thank you very much for the question, Chair. So, in the absence of the president and the vice president, the general secretary is in charge and acts as the president. So in that venture, the coordinating secretary also acts as the general secretary. So in that particular meeting, the coordinating secretary would be the one taking the minutes because she's running in the stead of the general secretary. Thank you.
You're right.
Helen.
Yes, please.
Have you gone through the handbook?
Please.
Have you gone through the students' handbook?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the students of the Faculty of Law are displeased with some events in the school and plans to embark on a demonstration next 2 days. One of their students wants to dissent himself from this particular demonstration and has approached you for advice. What would you advise him to do?
Thank you very much for the question. The student is supposed to write a petition to the Dean of Students, stated his request to withdraw from the demonstration that's going to go on. Yes, please. That's it.
Does it have to go through anyone or just directly to the Dean of Students?
He or she has to write to the Dean of Students to exempt himself.
Okay. Is there a time limit to that?
Within 72 hours.
Okay, you did fairly well, but the point is it should be at least 24 hours. It should be at least 24 hours, and then you have to write through your respective heads. You can't bypass the one that's the head of that particular association that has requested for that particular clearance to do that demonstration. So you have to write through that head so that it will get to the Dean of Students.
Yes, please.
Hello, Lady Helen.
Hello.
My question is very simple. it does not require names of people, okay? So tell us the appointed heads for colleges, faculties or schools and departments. The appointed heads.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. The appointed head for colleges is going to be the provost, and for the faculty is going to be the dean of faculty, and for the department is going to be the head of the department.
What about schools?
Schools, the dean is going to be a dean as well.
That is very good, it's correct.
Thank you very much.
All right. You have to relax, okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so take your substantive question. Do you think anyone in Ghana is a member of the University of Cape Coast community?
No, please.
You don't? Are you sure?
Yes, please.
Then tell us. Who people constitute the University of Cape Coast community?
Thank you very much for the question. So the composition of the university community comprises of the junior members, the senior members, and the administrative heads of the school.
That is very correct.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Ellen.
Hello.
I'm glad to see you.
Glad to see
Okay,
you too.
so do you know who an external candidate is?
Yes, please, I do.
Who is an external candidate?
Thank you for your question. An external candidate is an individual who has failed his or her courses and is required to take them all over in an academic year. So for that academic year, the individual will not take courses that's supposed to push him to the next level, but will repeat those courses and take them again.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
that's quite satisfactory. So my follow-up question is, during an individual stay on campus, as a recognized university student, how many times can one assume the position of external candidacy?
Can you kindly reframe the question?
Okay, I'm trying to say that as an individual, as a student, during your stay on campus, how many times can you assume the position of an external candidacy?
Just one, please.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right. In the university, there are laws or rules and regulations that governs us, right?
Yes, please.
Are you an obedient one?
I am, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, very well.
Okay, that's good. I've gone through your CV and then your transcript too. You are doing well in your transcript. You understand? Your grade is good. If I'm in the university and I am to complete, then I have a CGPA of 2.3. 2.3. Before you leave, there's a class attached to all these things. You understand? All right. So if I have 2.3, what do you think will be my grade? Or sorry, no, my class. Do you get the question?
Yes, please. I do get the question.
Okay. I'm having a CGPA of 2.3. What do you think will be?
Please, you'd be a second class lower student.
Second class.
Lower student.
2.3.
No, sorry.
Yes, I said 2.3. So listen carefully.
I'm very sorry.
Two point three.
2.3 will render the individual a third class student.
So just a quick one on the follow-up. What's the
Thank
full
you.
meaning of CGPA?
Cumulative grade points average.
All right. Thank you. I think that's correct.
Thank you, Helen.
So, now,
Yes, sir.
on your CV, I noticed that you indicated that you are very proficient in Microsoft Office. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
but not entirely.
You don't want me to ask the question.
I'm being honest, not entirely.
But you've written that on your CV.
Okay, so for that, there was a fragmentation in my association. For my association, we have two secretaries, a financial one and a general one. I happen to be the general one, so there are some aspects of the Microsoft Office I will handle, and there are other aspects.
Which aspects are those?
Mostly the Microsoft Word.
Word.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's stay with the word. Not the word of God, though. We'll come to the word of God later, but Microsoft Word. What is the function of the review button?
The function of the review button is to allow you to have a look at your work again and do some necessary changes.
Take that again. You know where you can locate the review button?
Yes, at the top.
Yes. Okay. So what is it used for? And if you can mention any two drop down buttons under the review. Since you are very proficient in Microsoft Word and not the Word.
Thank you very much, the Chair. So for the review button, the individual using the Microsoft Word has the chance to his or her work and make some reviews to it to enhance how he or she wants it to be like. But for the two examples.
Without the review button, you can still go through your Word document and make changes. But it has a unique feature.
Yes.
Have you ever used it?
Scarcely.
Scarcely.
Yes. Please.
So you've seen track changes under review.
Yes, please.
Accept track changes, reject track changes.
No, I really don't remember coming across that, please.
But you're very proficient in Microsoft Word. Anyway, do you think leaders who do not uphold rules and regulations in full should be allowed to stay in office? If yes, why? If no, why?
I think no. Thank you very much, Chair. I think no, because rules and regulations are bound to everyone. No one is superior to it. It's what governs us. And so you being a leader doesn't exempt you. You're supposed to play under the rules and regulations as well. So you are bound to it. And if you are found going against the rules and regulations, then you have to have a penalty to pay. I beg your pardon.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's make progress.
Thank you, the Chair.
It's good.
So, Helen.
Yes, please.
I think you made mention of the fact that your mom has a fabric shop.
Yes, please.
So, did you ever do any form of procurement for your mom?
No, please.
You did not do any form of procurement?
No, please. She actually goes to the market and she does that on her own.
So, which kinds of fabrics does your mom sell?
She's currently selling African prints, lace.
Okay, so the fact that you've not done procurement before does not take away my question.
Very true.
I hope you're okay with that.
I'm very okay.
Okay, so can you tell me any three procurement option which is available to the university?
Thank you very much for the question. I think if the university is going to purchase something, first of all, the university will have to go through, if the university wants to buy a bottle of water, the university doing procurement would have to go through other brands of bottle of water to try to get which one will best suit their pockets and which one will be feasible for them.
So how do we call that? So I'm talking about the types of procurement. So how would you call the example you just gave?
The name slightly skipped me, please.
Okay, so let's take it one by one. So if you are procuring an item and the item can be supplied by only one person, how would you call it? Or the school decides to buy from only one entity, how would you call that?
I'm not so sure I have a bit of knowledge on that, but I'll jot that down and look for an answer to it.
Okay, so
Thank
we
you.
have sole sourcing, restrictive tendering, price quotation, national and international competitive tendering. So, giving you that preamble, now let's look at this question. So, in this example, the SRC wants to buy a bus
Yes, please.
worth 150,000. The bus has security features which can be supplied by only two companies. How would you call that, given the types I've given you?
Given the types you've given me, thank you for the question. I'll put that under the restrictive tendering.
Okay, well done.
Thank you very much. I'm very well, sir. Yourself?
I'm good too. Okay. So I'll ask about news. Have you been following the news recently?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So have you heard anything on bullion van? Anything trending on Have you heard any news on bullion van circulating over the week, especially getting towards the end of last week?
Yes, please. I have heard about that.
Okay, so what happened?
Thank you
What's
very
the news
much.
about?
Okay, so it was a daytime robbery that's happened at Ablekuman Farm Milk.
Okay.
It was actually, the footage was shot by a CCTV camera, whereby in the footage you can see the bullion van at a filling station, and the robbers just walked in, opened the door and shot the police and the driver, took the key, opened the van, took out what they wanted to, sat on the motor and ran off. So that was the incident that occurred with regards to the bullion van robbery.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any opinions you would want to express on it?
Thank you very much. Very little though.
Okay.
So I think this hasn't been the first kind of incidents that have occurred with police, robbers, and bullion van attacks. And during the first one that happened in Accra, I don't really know if any measures was put in place to prevent this occurrence from happening again. But it seems to have happened again. So even if there was a measure, I think it wasn't well taken out. So I would really be if government is able to put down very good measures to help save the lives of our policemen and their drivers, and as well protect the nation's finances as well. And I think the robbery happening in broad daylight shows that the robbers are not even scared of anything at this point again. So they need to beef up security in the nation. Thank you.
All right, well done. Thank you, too.
Thank you. Yes,
You were at Unipra,
yes, please.
but you didn't take up any position there. Why?
No, please. Thank you very much, the chair. Growing up, I was very timid and very scared because of how I looked. I felt I was too small to be a leader. But coming to the university, I've gained some sort of friendship and people that have encouraged me, especially the core values of the university that believes in equal opportunity and empowerment. It has really had a toll on me. I've had lecturers advising me that I'm a great leader and I'm able to serve. So I took up the mantle and I'm here today to vie for a higher position at the student front. Thank you.
Get your accent. Locally acquired, eh?
Locally acquired.
All right, thank you very much. Now,
Thank you
this
very
brings us to the end of your session. You hear from the committee soon.
Thank you much for having me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're still live from the Jane Nana Opoku Ajimine Auditorium. This brings us to an end of the morning session for vetting nominees for the SRC secretary. We have vetted 4 nominees. We will take a break and then go and have a quick lunch and reconvene here after 1 hour, where we'll vet nominees for the SRC treasurer. So we'll reconvene exactly at 2 o'clock, and we'll begin with the afternoon session where we'll vet nominees for the SRC treasurer. If you're joining us live on TV UCC on our YouTube channel, we want to say a very big thank you. We want to see your comments. Keep the comments coming. We want to read all the comments. Please share with others who are not joined or who haven't joined us yet. Share with others so that we can all have fruitful deliberations and discussions. Over to you, PDF. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, the chair. And of course, interesting comment here. Deborah, thank you very much. I've seen the words, the German language. I've seen the words. Just that maybe I have to make time to see you somewhere. Then I begin to learn the pronunciation. Thank you. Sugar, watch it. Right. I hope you're fine. Takra the hard guy comes in with this. Wow, that's good. And Christopher, ST all the way. Gloria Nkansa, a month for Bedantem. Florita, she has delivered. Gilbert Owusuedu, we are well prepared. Fellas, hey, Lionel. Komsa is proud of you now, and Sugar is here. Nano dear, she be too small like Mali. But Emfa, that is what you wrote. Sugar Emfa. Gilbert Owusu, she has qualified already. She's composed. This is from Phyllis. This one says, is it Kwame Mickey? I'm crashing on the lady seated next to the chair. Kwame, hey, be careful. Nah in pidgin means nah Charlie. Sugar, I'm not taking your message again. I'm not reading. Okay, Lady Tando, respect yourself, Lady Nia Good. This one is from Florida. And Boache Tony, you said Ninso this whole your day. ST. Numsuono near Chiaka. And right, interesting comments, but this is where we would want to pause for the break. We'll come back and of course continue with the afternoon session. Today the vetting committee would be vetting the candidate or the students who filed to contest for the position of SRC treasurer. In the afternoon, we just finished that of the SRC General Secretary. In the afternoon, we'll be coming your way with that of the SRC Treasurer. So do stay with us and keep your comments coming. Intermittently, I would be reading them. I'm Louise Bekwene. You can call me the PDF. And this is TV UCC. Subscribe if you have not done that. And do well to share the content. There's someone somewhere in UK who want to watch us. But if you are on campus or you are around the University of Cape Coast, you can also join us at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajimine Auditorium. at the Amisatha Language Center, where the exercise is being taken place. Until we meet again in the afternoon, it is bye for now. Stay safe. We do love you. Watch it. Don't go anywhere. Debbie from Germany, thank you for connecting to us. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly.